Hi friends, and welcome back to the channel. Today's pick a card is very special. I haven't done a reading like this, I want to say, in over a year. It's been a very long time. I don't do them very often on my channel, but Spirit I sat with today and I really felt that this was what the collective needed this week. So this reading is going to be for both singles and people that are coupled. Basically, this is just going to be kind of like your love reading. Now, this reading is timeless, so it doesn't matter when you come across it, if it is right when it goes live or weeks or months from now, the message will reach you when it is meant to. And that's always my intention with like 90% of my readings, except for like the ones that are specific to a week or a season, then it's a little bit different. But most of my readings are timeless, so I just want you to know that. And for those of you that don't want to choose a candle, let's go ahead and I'll just tell you which pile is which, and you can go head off into your reading at the timestamps down below. So this is going to be pile number 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So if you already know how pick a cards work, go ahead and head down to that timestamp. Now, if you are unfamiliar, allow me to give a little bit of an explanation, and then I will put candles on these cards and allow you to make a choice, as well as give you some time to meditate with the cards. So if you're new to pick a cards, basically what you want to do is you can choose to pause the video or wait until I give you about 30 or so seconds to meditate with the cards. But you can pause the video and focus your intention on the different piles and kind of see which one calls out to you the most. You can also check the timestamps that I have in the description and at the top of the comments and see if your angel number is present. A lot of people will use their universal number symbol, which like 1111, 333, 222, or if you just have a number that is lucky to you, like for me, my lucky number is 14. So whenever I see it, I know that my spirit guides or angels want me to go look at that. So you can look for that. You can also choose based on candle colors in a moment. You can also, if you can read auras or energy, you can also look at like the auric field of the decks, because everything does have an aura about it. So however you would like to do that, feel free to do so. I do want to let you know a few things about this as well. That number 1, you are never going to choose wrong. I get a lot of comments with people telling me like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make the right choice. Trust yourself. Even if only one card applies to your situation out of the entire pile, it was still the right pile for you. There is going to be something no matter which pile you choose. It is also okay to choose multiple piles. Some people choose 2 piles, 3 piles. Some people will watch the video from start to finish and then decide which pile resonates. It is all up to you and how you like to do it. Another thing to note is this is a generalized reading. So please know that for many of you, the entire pile will resonate, or multiple piles. But for some of you, it might just be a certain card. You might only be here for the candle blessing. Because it is generalized and I am channeling in so many messages, it's really hard for hundreds of thousands of people to, sometimes depending on the video, it's hard to get specific entirety for everyone. I do my best. So just know that it might be some things and it might be the whole thing. So just take what resonates and leave the rest. And something else to note before we put the candles on is that please know that your energy is always changing. What I am doing right now, and this is actually something that the Gem Goddess says in her videos as well, and I definitely believe the exact same and I practice the same way, is that I'm reading off of your current energy when you come into this reading. That is what I set intention for. So know that the energy can change. You hold the power to manifest outcomes. So if you hear something you don't like or something that makes you worry, know that you hold the power to change that. There are a multitude of outcomes that are always available to you energetically. This is just what's going on with the current energy. So I'm going to go ahead and put candles on these cards now and then give you some time to meditate. Okay, so pile number 1 has a red candle, pile number 2 has a pink candle, pile number 3 has a red candle, and pile number 4 has a pink candle. So you can choose based off of those, or you can take a moment now to meditate. I'm going to go ahead and be quiet. All right, pile number one, if you chose this pile, you chose one of the two red candles that I had set out for you. So red candles, if you're unfamiliar with my readings, first and foremost, we always do an intention candle together, just because this, I believe, is a good opportunity for you to bring things into your life and maybe just set an intention for the reading or for your future self or whatever it might be. But red candles actually represent, number one, fire signs. So this is going to be Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And they also represent passion, love. They can be used for romance and even sex magic. Yes, it is true. You can also use red candles, in my humble opinion. Some people's opinions may differ on this, but I would use them sometimes for extra ambition, especially in creative pursuits. If you are pursuing something creative, you can choose to use this candle to bring more passion into your love life, more passion into your own life, more passion anywhere in life that you feel like it's lacking. You don't have to go with any of the suggestions that I just said. You can go with any suggestion that, or anything, not suggestion, anything that you feel you need more of in your life right now. It could literally be anything. So what I want you to do is go ahead and put both of your hands over your heart space, because love is the highest vibrational frequency that we as humans can attune ourselves to. So I always like to bring in that real heart chakra energy with us, because when we do that, it makes it easier for our manifestations to come in. So let's go ahead and just take a big, deep belly breath. Like when you breathe in, breathe it all the way into your belly, and we'll do it together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Think of that intention that you want to hold, whatever it is. And let's just take a moment to do that together. Oh, that felt good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and light this for us and see what the candle flame has for us. Okay, so I do feel like that flame really started pretty strong. Many times we'll actually see, especially if you've seen a lot of readings from me, many times we'll see candles start extremely small. And I feel like this one definitely started big and stayed big. So I feel like many of you have some big energy that you're wanting to manifest in. And Spirit wants you to know that you fully are in alignment and have the capacity to bring it in relatively quickly. I'm also seeing that the flame is slightly tipped. It looks like a little bit to the right side, which I want to say this is the divine feminine side. So maybe even focus your intention more on your emotional well-being and how you feel versus having the action and drive to bring in whatever it is that you're trying to bring in. So let's go ahead and move this up to the top of our reading. We will kind of keep it in view because sometimes the candle flame will react with our reading, and I like to have that. But let's go ahead and see what the cards have in store for you, pile number one. So first and foremost, we do have the Sun. Love these cards. I will have them all linked down below, by the way. We have the reversed Five of Swords. We have the Five of Pentacles upright. And we have the Six of Pentacles reversed. So many of you, I feel like currently might be feeling, number one, left out in the cold. I feel like many of you have this beautiful, big capacity to love. Whether you are in a relationship or you are single, you have so much love to give to someone else, because the Sun to me really is that big, warm energy. Like you want to gas someone up. You really want to make someone the apple of your eye, or in reverse, that's what you desire. You want to be like adored, appreciated, and seen, but you also want to give that. And I feel like those of you that are taken, some of you maybe have just gotten into a fight with your significant other, and it feels like it's just like a losing battle. Like you don't even want to have the argument, but they are giving you the cold shoulder. And those of you that are single, I feel like this could also be a lot about like you're just giving up hope on finding anyone. It just feels like no one is out there that matches your vibration, and the person that you have been calling in or have wanted to call in, it just feels like you're just done. You're ready to give up. And The Six of Pentacles to me also really sheds light on this same concept, because the Six of Pentacles in the upright position is normally about an equal exchange of give and take. And so I feel like there is definitely an imbalance going on, whether you're single or you are taken, because normally the six is like a really positive card. It's something that you want to see in a relationship, where what you're giving out is being received, and what you're receiving, you're also giving, right? We want everything to be in this beautiful equal balance. But we're not feeling that. Either our partner isn't giving that to us, or we in turn are also not doing it. And same goes if you are single. It feels like maybe you've been putting a lot of energy into someone. I'm sensing that some of you might even have your heart set on someone, and they're just not noticing you or not taking interest in you the way that you'd hoped. And those of you that are single, if that is your situation and this message is speaking to you, please be aware that when you have the Sun card, like, to me, this really says that there is something better for you. Like, if somebody isn't taking note that you have your heart set on, just be yourself. The Sun card says be yourself, let yourself be seen, let yourself shine as bright as you possibly can, and know that if this person is meant to be with you, then they will be, but there might even be somebody better for you, and Spirit is holding this person back on purpose. For those of you that are taken, I do feel that maybe you feel that your partner is just not growing at the rate that you're growing. I sense that as well. And I'm definitely hearing that from Spirit, that many of you feel like you just want to reach them in a certain way, especially in terms of, like, I'm hearing spirituality for a lot of you. You feel like you're on this like high vibration, and then when you talk to your partner, it's like they're just not where I am. And it doesn't mean that you're better and they are worse. I don't want to give you that impression. It just means that they're just not at the critical stage that maybe you are at in your own journey, and it's going to take some time for them to catch up. So let's go ahead and see a little bit more. We have a time for healing with the balsamic moon. We have take time to breathe out with the gosh, I always have a hard time with this word, with the disseminating moon. So I'm really hearing that many of you, I feel like, have maybe had your feelings really hurt, no matter if you're single or taken. I'm definitely, this reading does feel more somber. Like, the energy feels kind of sad, if that makes sense. Like, it just, my heart isn't at that point where it's like breaking apart and breaking open, but it definitely feels slighted. The energy around my heart feels like I've been slighted. I'm not feeling confident and good in my relationship with someone else, or in the relationship that I don't have yet. So I definitely feel that many of you need to focus more on how you are doing, especially with that sun. That sun is, like, to me, the crowning glory of this reading, because many of you, and it's funny, I was just talking about this on Instagram today. On Instagram, I don't know why Spirit is telling me to share this, but it just seems relevant, so we will. On Instagram today, I was following The Bird's Papaya, which is somebody I really love on Instagram, really beautiful content. And she was talking about how her journey to love was her love story. It was about her love for herself, and it had nothing to do with who she's married to now. And I really resonated with this content because I've been there as well. Before getting together with my husband 12 years ago, I've been with my husband for a really long time. Before getting together with him, I lost myself in somebody else. And then I came out of that relationship feeling like I had no identity and no sense of purpose, because I gave my everything to this other person. And it was actually a blessing in disguise, because my journey then became about the love that I had to gain for me. And then when I got into my next relationship, I was never trying to be somebody for my husband. And I feel like that was a beautiful thing, because it allowed us both to be fully ourselves without having to have these high expectations of each other. And our relationship has been really beautiful for 12 years. And I say that with full confidence that, and this isn't me bragging about my relationship or trying to make me sound better. I'm just trying to really really share with you that that does exist. You can be whole and complete by yourself and still share a beautiful life with someone if that's what you want. That is a reality for you, because when you hear it from somebody else, it's not that you're meant to be jealous of what they have. It should show you that, oh, because it's happening for this person, it can happen for me too. So I really am hearing this message of you. It's a time for you to go more inward, to ask yourself what it is that you desire from a relationship. Ask yourself, whether you're single or taken, how you can be that for yourself, because what is reflected at you is always a reflection of what's going on internally. It doesn't matter what is happening. There's somewhere in you that either just believes that you deserve that, and I know it can be a hard pill to swallow. I'm not trying to sit here and trigger you and jab at you and, make you feel like it's all your fault, because it's not. More often than not, it's conditioning that we have learned from really early on in childhood, that we are not worthy of a certain kind of love. It honestly isn't even your narrative, most likely. It's come from somewhere else. But this is your opportunity to kind of go inward and ask yourself how you can start giving this to you so that a partner can also give it to you. I hope I'm making sense. So we also have for you trust. This situation is calling you to have faith. Ooh, I just got the chills. We also got children. Your love life is being affected by children. That's interesting. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then we have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So a lot happening here. So for those of you that are single, I'll address y'all first. If you do not have children, I want to make you aware of something. Baby spirits are real. And I don't know enough about this for me to make a whole video on it. Eventually, I would like to. It's something I'm really interested in, and it is something that I want to myself learn more about. Baby spirits are real. You can actually make your contracts with a baby spirit that has not yet been born, and you could even go to a baby spirit and say, look, I want kids. If you're single and you want kids, basically, look, I want kids, but in order for me to have you and bring you in, I want this kind of partner to raise my child with. Or, maybe you do want to do it alone. All up to you. No judgments here ever. But I do feel like for those of you that are single and you do want kids, that's something that you should be considering, is literally getting in contact with your future children, because you can do that. There are books that are written about this. Like I said, I do not know enough for me to teach you about that, but I believe if you look up books on baby spirits, you will find something. There's a book that I myself would like to order, and if I can find it, I will link it for you. If I can't, I'm really sorry, but I promise, search it up into Google, you will find it. Now, if you have children and you are with someone, I also want you to know that your children obviously do play a role in your relationship with your significant other, whether they rely on you a lot and they're really small, or they're older and they have a little bit more self-reliance, but also need that emotional support and physical support from a parent. Your children are part of this. And I feel like that's a whole other topic. I feel like I should take this card out of my deck, to be honest, because I feel that there's a lot to be said about having children and how that creates karma, and not necessarily good or bad karma. Like I said, it's a whole topic that I probably should make its own video as well, how children create karma. But your relationship is being affected by your kids, your relationship. And I can say that even in my own family with my own parents, being a youngest of 7 children, we definitely affect our parents' relationship. And also with trust, the situation is calling for you to have faith, and express your love. Go ahead and make a romantic gesture. No matter if you're single or taken, I feel like these can both apply in the same way. It's either express your love to your significant other, go out on a limb and try something you've never tried and just see what happens. Go at it with no expectation, though. Don't expect a reciprocation. Do it because it's what you want to do. If you desire love, you have to give it first. It seems like a big paradox, and that's because it is. But don't be afraid to express your love and also have faith in the relationship that you've created. And if you're single, give this love to yourself. Express this love to yourself. You want flowers? Buy yourself flowers. You want to go on a movie date? Maybe don't do that right now at the time in the world that we are in, but rent a movie on Netflix if you want to, or Disney Plus, and take yourself on an at-home movie date. Do something that puts you in the energy of having that partner and what you would hope to do with them, and trust that it's coming. So I also pulled a few cards from our angel deck to see what our angels had for us in this pile. And I got the card of forgiveness. And I also got the card within the next few months. So I feel that some of you, this might even be the only message you needed in this pile, is some of you, the forgiveness is coming. If you've done something that was not your proudest moment, or if they have done something, I believe that forgiveness for each is coming. And I feel like even those of you with like past relationships, maybe that's what's holding you back in finding a new relationship, is you just need to forgive yourself for maybe a way you acted, or forgive the other person and release that relationship, is what I'm hearing. Within the next few months, I do feel that many of you will be experiencing dramatic change in your relationships in the next few months. So within the next few months, you are either, to me, Spirit is saying you're either going to find someone that you will be linking up with, or this relationship is going to change for the better. I'm feeling like a really positive feeling from this. And the last three cards that I have for you are, I basically asked, what are things that you could do with your partner if you're taken, and if you are single, things that you could do by yourself to help bring that partner in if you're trying to manifest one. And we got pleasure. I feel like that one's pretty obvious. This is either pleasure with self or pleasure with your partner. I got abundance planning. So some of you, I feel like, are having a hard time being intimate with your partner, specifically because your finances just don't feel like they're in order, and that's stressful, and it's not allowing you to truly enjoy each other. So abundance planning for you, those of you that are taken, do this with your partner. Do something together. Set up a new budget plan together. And if you're single, maybe money could be something that you have a hang up about with someone else. Maybe you want to attract someone that, like, maybe in the past, I'm really hearing you've had to financially support someone, and that's not the energy you want in your next relationship. So plan for it. I want my significant other to make this kind of money on their own. When we're together, this is what we'll have. There's nothing wrong with that. Money is just an energy that comes from source. Believe it or not, money does not come from people. It comes from source. And when you accept that fact, it makes everything around money not feel so uncomfortable. I feel like money is such a weird paradox in its own, because if you have money, you're judged. And if you don't have money, you're judged. And it's like, would you rather defy the odds and manifest that wealth and plan for it and, risk being judged? Or would you rather sit back and, allow yourself to not have the abundance that you truly deserve and is your birthright? Would you rather sit back and not have it and let people think differently of you? Like, I don't know. I'm hearing that many of you might have some money hangups. That's very common. Don't feel shame about it. Many of us, myself included, have weird things about money. So things that I'm still working on myself. But, abundance planning would be a good thing. And lastly, we have soak in a bath. So many of you might just want to consider doing more of like a ritual type bath. And some of you might not like that word ritual, but I promise it's nothing bad. You can make intentional baths. You can actually, Stargirl the Practical Witch has a beautiful video on like a self-love and beauty ritual bath that she does. There are plenty here on YouTube. I don't know that, well, I think my full moon routine kind of has one, but you can set intention for love to come into your life even through a bath. And this also, for some of you, if you have a big enough bath or a big enough shower, even take a bath, take a shower with your loved one if that sounds like something interesting that you would want to do or something that you think would bring you closer. So that is what I have for you, pile number one. I hope this reading reaches you well. Let me know in the future if you want more readings like this, please, by leaving me a comment down below and giving the video a like. Like I said, this is something I haven't done in a very long time. I don't typically do a lot of readings like this. So just let me know how you're feeling about it. And don't forget to claim your blessing here. And please, please, please don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Kloee Taylor. If you like any of the decks you see here today, they are all listed down below in the order that they appear. And if you feel called to do so and it resonates, I do have links for tips down below, my Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. It is never an expectation. I don't do this because I expect money from you. I promise. I wouldn't be here if that were the case. I would never. But if it is something that you feel called to do, I do appreciate it. I do pour it back into my channel, and thank you to those of you that have. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Hello there, my beautiful pile number twos. If you chose this pile, you chose the pink candle. Now, we do intention candles on this channel before we get into cards, so we're gonna go ahead and start there. So pink candles actually represent, to me, Venus energy, which is gonna be Libra and Taurus, because they are both ruled by the planet Venus. Pink also represents love and self-love specifically. It also has attachment to the divine feminine, and honestly, I would say the heart chakra as well, because the heart chakra is represented by green and pink. So you can set intention with me if you'd like to with any or for any of those things that I've mentioned. You can also set intention for literally anything you want. So what I say is to go ahead and choose something you want to bring into your life, a feeling, a person, a thing, whatever it is that you just feel like you need more of in your life. And go ahead and place your hands over your heart, because love is the highest vibrational frequency that we as humans can attune ourselves to. So when we attach the intention to our heart center, it actually gives it the ability, as we feel into it, to come to us much faster and easier. So let's go ahead, if you have chosen an intention based on what I told you or just something that you are already thinking of, let's go ahead and just take a deep breath in together. So it's going to be in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just really breathe deeply, like all the way into your belly. Let your belly expand. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and light this candle for you. And what that's going to do is basically, as it burns down, your intention is going to go out into the universe. And sometimes the candle flame will also interact with the reading. So of course I will give you information on that if it happens. But I do want to say that the candle flame, kind of like pile number one, actually, it started out extremely strong. I feel like in past readings, I've definitely seen a lot of candle flames kind of like dim and almost go out, and this one did not do that. I would say the flame is a little under average. Like, it's not a huge flame, but it did burn pretty quickly. Like, it lit up and it stayed lit up. So the flame, I would say, like I said, it's a little under average, which to me, if it's not just like a normal candle flame size, it means that it might take a little bit more time for your intention to come in, 3+ weeks, I would say. And I do feel that in the flame, I'm also seeing, which is this, I don't normally do this, but I just kind of felt called to in the moment. I'm seeing like kind of like the image, like the Judgment Tarot card, which is, it's not just like judgment, like you're being judged, but it's judgment in the sense that like you are rising up and others are paying notice to what you have to say and who you are and your energy. Like, you have more power than you think. And I think that's kind of the important message that your guides want you to have right now, is you are more powerful and important than you think. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and put this candle flame right up here. So we can keep our eye on it during the reading, see if anything changes, and let's go ahead and see what the cards have in store for you. So first and foremost, we do have the moon reversed. We also have the Page of Cups reversed. We have the Queen of, excuse me, the Queen of Wands. And then we also have the Nine of Cups. Ooh, all right. I see you. Okay. So with these cards, first and foremost, this is going to be for singles and people who are taken. So I'm going to be channeling in a lot of messages. So just be patient with me, please. But when I see the moon, the first thing that always says to me is that secrets that have been kept from you are coming to light. There's nothing that could stop them. Because normally when we have the moon in the upright position, it kind of talks more about secrets, things that are a little bit more hidden. And so when it comes out in a reverse state, this is all about hidden things coming to light. Things maybe about your relationship or even about yourself if you're single, things that maybe you were not aware of about yourself. And I'm really hearing from this, whether you are single or taken, this is more about your divine power, especially because we got that message really early with the candle, which, like I said, that's something I've never done before. I do divine candle flames, but I've never done it in a reading like that. So I feel like with that, this is kind of a very, it's like, that is kind of like the theme I'm feeling like from this message. The energy of it is very much with a moon reversal that it's like your own talents, your own gifts, your own personal power is being exposed to you in a beautiful way. Like it might be lightning quick, but you are really understanding who you are. And I almost want to cry because I think many of you have maybe kind of lacked that self-confidence in your relationship or in attracting a relationship if you're not in one. And I'm here to tell you that Spirit wants you to know, especially, oh, I'm so sorry. Spirit really wants you to know, like, these are happy tears. I'm not starting to cry because I feel sad. Like I feel happy for you. With the Queen of Wands, though, the Queen of Wands is somebody that just like stands in their power. They are somebody that is highly confident and goes after what they want. Now I'm getting the chills. And I feel like this is the potential that is being unveiled to you. And it's allowing you to not settle for anything less. So even in your relationship, you are at a point where you're not willing to settle for anything less than what you want. And Spirit is saying that, like, because you are evolving yourself, it's going to cause an up level in the relationship that you already have, or like you're just going to become the woman that woman or man, actually, I should say. I don't know why female is coming through so strongly. I feel like those of you that identify as female that are here, that's the energy that's coming through the strongest, but it doesn't matter how you choose to identify, regardless of gender. But that energy of confidence is what is going to really up level. And I feel like maybe it is like the divine feminine aspect that's coming through, because everybody harbors divine feminine and divine masculine energy. It doesn't matter how you identify. Everybody has both. It's kind of like a yin or a yang energy. That's like another word for it. And the divine feminine is what is really, really like strong in this reading for sure. So I feel like your confidence, though, is really going to start being unveiled to you. And with the Page of Cups reversed, I almost feel like some of you are with someone that maybe doesn't deserve you. Now, please don't take what I say and like go break up with your partner tomorrow. Use your own intuition and your best judgments. But I do feel like some of you are maybe with a partner or are even asking for a partner right now that is not completely in alignment with who you are becoming. So give it a little bit more time. If you are single, give it a little bit more time to kind of work and develop yourself, because I feel like there's going to be new things coming in for you very soon. And with this Page of Cups, normally this is somebody that's like rose-colored glasses. They kind of look through life with that lens of being a little bit more dreamy, romantic, hopeful for the future. And I feel like for you, I feel like with this like confidence, it's almost because you've been hurt. Either somebody has hurt you and like you are already single, or you're in a relationship and you've recently gone through something with that person that has kind of like burst your bubble or broken the honeymoon phase or whatever it might be. Now, please know that honeymoon phases are not meant to last. Like, I don't know what this obsession is in culture that says when the honeymoon phase is over, like your relationship is basically garbage. Not the truth. Honeymoon phases are beautiful because it allows us to really get to know our partner deeply and experience the high highs with them. And I believe we can have multiple honeymoon phases in relationships. It's not just for the beginning of the relationship, it's throughout. And I feel that some of you, though, maybe you're going through like a very first fight or an early on fight or something that you've never really experienced before. And it's kind of shifting how you see this person if you're in a relationship. And with that, like the rose-colored glasses are coming off, you're stepping fully into your power. And it's like purposefully happening. Like things are actually working together for your highest good. Because when we see the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Cups is never going to be negative. I don't care what anybody says, like, unless like it's next to a bunch of like crazy energy, like maybe, I guess I could see it in a negative light, but I also feel like tarot cards are also very subjective to the person. And at times, every card can have a shadow and a light aspect, no matter how it's put down. But with the Nine of Cups, this is very telling of this is something that is here to up-level you. This is something to make you grow internally, whether it's in a partnership or outside of one. And it's something that your soul came here to experience. It was something that was manifested with intention. Whether it was direct intention or not, I believe it was part of your purpose to experience. Because again, it's giving you this newfound sense of confidence and helping you to stand up in your power, which is beautiful, beautiful energy. So we also have adjustments are required, and we have a fiery climax approaches. So adjustments are required, third quarter moon, a fiery climax approaches full moon in Aries. Some of you might be Aries placements, I'm hearing, and that's why that Aries card is coming out. Some of you also just might be fire signs. I mean, Queen of Wands energy is also like very fiery energy. But I do feel ultimately that with these two cards, maybe there is something that is also coming to light because it needs to be changed. Even astrologically, if you're listening to this video when it goes live, which the readings are always timeless regardless, but we have so much catastrophe happening in the astrals right now. I am an astrologer as well. And we have like, don't even get me started on like Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter all kind of doing this thing up in the sky right now. But we have a lot of energy that is here for deep transformation. And though, of course, it affects us globally, it also affects us personally. And so know whatever is coming up to the surface, whatever is bubbling up, whether it's personal or in a relationship, it's happening because it needs to be adjusted. And it's something that if it doesn't get corrected now, it's going to go full circle back around for another 35 years and then come back up again. So know that whatever is coming up, even if it's painful or difficult or scary or hard, it's there because it needs to be transitioned. It needs to be transformed into something better. So I also have for you engagement. Pay attention to the red flags and heart-to-heart conversations. So with engagement, some of y'all might even be about to take a brand new step in a relationship. And this is what I was saying with this might even be like your first fight and like the honeymoon phase is over and now you're not really sure what way you're going forward, right? But know that if you make those adjustments, there is an engagement on the horizon. And it also says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So for many of you, maybe you're already married, you're already in a commitment. This is a time where you can look at the vows that you made and you can renew them. You can make them brand new again. It's a time where deep transitional healing or transformational healing is coming to your relationship. Now, if you're single, when I see engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. I feel like, again, this really relates to self. This relates to you and how committed you are to yourself. Because if you want to attract a partner that has a deep level of commitment for you, you kind of have to exude that energy yourself first. Now, we also have heart-to-heart conversations, honest discussion. Oh my gosh, Mercury retrograde's over too. Honestly discussing your feelings with each other. So this kind of goes in tandem with what I was already saying with the fiery climax approaches. Adjustments are required and things that are hidden coming to light. This is about getting frank and honest with your partner. And if you're by yourself, this is about getting frank and honest with yourself. If you're in a committed relationship, what do you need? What are your desires? What is feeling currently like it's unfulfilled? What is feeling like needs helping? Because if you can't be honest with yourself and honest with your partner, you can't expect things to be better. Does that make sense? You have to get very clear on what you need and what you desire, and also ask the other person what their needs and desires are as well. And if you are alone, getting very frank and honest with yourself about why you desire a relationship. When I tell you this process, if you have not already done it, will change your life. Your guides want you to know that it will change your life. When you get very serious and ask yourself, for some people, it's an obvious next step. There might be early conditioning of, oh yeah, the plan is get into a relationship, get married, have 2 kids, ride off into the sunset. But it's like that Disney like fairy tale that can cause a lot of people a lot of distress when they finally get to that point because they haven't really thought about it. They're being praised and celebrated by their tribe, by their families for doing the quote unquote right and traditional thing, but there's no thought given to themselves. Did you know, and this is for my younger audience specifically, did you know that the human mind does not finish developing until age 26. You are missing a critical part of your brain until you are 26. That is when it finishes developing. And yet we consider, and this is no shade on my younger people, I love my Gen Z babies. Mwah, big kisses to you. Really, I do. That's not a lie. I have a lot of wonderful, wonderful youngins in my life. Some of y'all act like you're 45 years old, and I'm like, oh my goodness. You are so wise. I believe we all have things to learn from each other. I really do. But it's crazy to me that in some countries we consider adulthood 18, when in my humble opinion, psychologically, we're not adults until we're 26, not really. There's going to be more room for things because we don't have the full mental capacity to process everything. And now I got married when I was 22 years old. So I even got married before my brain was fully developed. This isn't me putting shade on anybody who's younger. I'm just making it a point to say that it's important to consider why something is being done. It's important to get straight in why you want something, why you require a relationship, why, do the deep, honest inner work. If you really do feel that you are whole and complete on your own and you want to share that whole and completeness with someone else, awesome. Manifest that person. But if you don't feel that on your own, you certainly are not going to feel it in a partnership, I promise. So get very clear on that. Be honest with yourself if you are single. And pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So for those of you that are in newer relationships, things maybe have come up, or if you're in a long-term relationship and things have come up, pay attention. I feel that often we get so angry at people when they are angry or when they're doing things that we don't appreciate. And instead of just getting mad right off the bat, stopping and asking yourself, I wonder why they're doing that. I wonder what that facilitates for them, and kind of taking things a level deeper. I feel like that's what this is about. Instead of just being angry outright of your partner doing something that you don't appreciate, asking why. Why does, like, and come at them from a place of not harboring shame, guilt, and judgment, because it's going to get you a lot farther. I promise. Empathy will always win at the end of the day. Empathy is for everyone. So, and also for those of you that are single, the signs are cautioning you. Just, don't be afraid to be choosy with who you're trying to attract. Don't settle for someone that you don't feel like really meets what you desire in someone else. I feel like we hear all of these like weird stories of like, oh, don't have like a big list of how you want your future spouse or someone to be, because then you're just too picky. Like, no, be picky. You have every right to be picky, especially if you plan to expand with a family or anything. Like, be picky about that partner. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Now, I also have for you a couple of messages from our angels, your divine angel team, and that is, there is something better, and improving health. So these two messages, I feel, number one, there is something better. This to me is really not necessarily that there's like a better person out there for you, but maybe a better situation. As I stated before, and I'm so sorry if you can hear that, my neighbor's dogs are barking. There is something better for you, and there's a better way to align your relationship. And that's why these things are coming up. So it's actually a good thing. It's a blessing in disguise. For those of you that are single, like I said, kind of just parroting off of what I just said, be picky. Don't be afraid to be picky about what you want. And as far as improving health, I feel like this is just kind of a general message. Pay attention to what you're eating. Pay attention to what you're fueling yourself with. Pay attention even to what you're consuming in terms of media and music and things that you let kind of affect your vibration, maybe without even knowing. Become aware of those things, because ultimately, it's going to lead you to a higher level of consciousness that allows you to expand in your relationship in new and beautiful and intricate ways. And the last three cards I have are self-care things that you can do with your partner to bring you closer or to overcome these things. Or they could also be, if you are single, these are things that you may want to do yourself, just to kind of, do things that help you either attract someone or gain someone. So first and foremost, we have health checkup. I think it's really interesting that we have two health cards here. So those of you that picked pile 2, please make sure that your health is looking good, and this isn't just your like medical Western medicine. This is like your spiritual health too. Make sure that your health is in good order. We also have a burning ritual bowl. So I love this card when I see it. You'd be surprised how good it feels to just burn things. And I don't mean like burn your house down, obviously. If you are playing with fire, please make sure that you are old enough to do so. I do not want parents in my comment section being like, Kloee Taylor said that I could do like a burning ritual in my bedroom when you're not allowed. So, be safe with that, obviously, please. But a burning ritual, you could even do this with your partner. Same with health checkup. You could do these things with your partner. With the burning ritual bowl, like maybe you could put things in there for each other, or maybe you talk about the kind of partner you want to be for each other or with each other, or what you desire, and then burn those things together. And then we also have create art. So this could be a fun time to maybe go out and buy a couple of art canvases, a couple of paints, and create a piece of art with your partner. Or better yet, if you are trying to manifest a partner, I even see like a face in here in this picture. Maybe try to draw your ideal partner, even if it's like a stick figure, The intention is all that really matters when you're trying to call someone new in. So that is what I have for you, pile number 2. I hope this was helpful for you. Please do not forget to claim your blessing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Kloee Taylor. And if you like any of the cards that you see here, all of the decks are listed down below in the order that they appear. And the last thing I have to say is that It is never an expectation, but if you feel called to do so and it resonates, I do have links for my Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. I do accept tips for my readings. Again, I do not expect that from you. It's not why I do what I do, but if you should choose to, I do pour everything back into my business. We buy new decks, new candles. I've been able to upgrade parts of my equipment. So I really do appreciate each and every one of you that has done that. Thank you. It's never an expectation, but again, I do appreciate it. And I love you all so much, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Hello there, my beautiful pile number 3s, and welcome in to your reading. If you chose this pile, we always like to start with an intention candle, and you would have chose one of the 2 red candles. So red candles do represent the element of fire. They can also represent fire signs, which is going to be your Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius people. It also represents passion in all things that you do. I would argue ambition to some degree, though orange candles are also great for ambition. But passion, creativity, sometimes sex magic. But if there's anything along those lines you want to bring into your life or anything, you don't have to go based off of the candle color. You can set intention for anything that you desire. Just go ahead and choose something, whether it's a person, a place, a feeling that you want to feel more of, and go ahead and place your hands over your heart, both of them. And what we're going to do is actually take one deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, like a big deep belly breath on that intention. And the reason we're focusing on the heart energy or the heart chakra, heart center energy is because love is the highest vibrational frequency that we as humans can attune ourselves to. So when we take this intention and we infuse it with heart chakra energy, with love energy, being very heart-centered about it, it allows us to really bring that intention or that manifestation in faster and easier. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath together now. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and light this for you. Ooh. She is a big flame. I don't think you can see from that angle, but this flame is like she's big. That was a big flame. Y'all got lots of, I don't know if that was my supercharged energy, y'all's supercharged energy, but when we all manifest together like this, I feel like it's very special. Oh my gosh. I don't know how well you can see this, but this flame is huge. It's starting to simmer down a little bit, but it's a big flame. I love that for us. So when we see a really big flame, usually that means that the intention or the manifestation or whatever we've asked for is going to come back to us very quickly, like within the week, maybe 2 weeks, but usually within like a few days. Now, obviously that's not going to be for everyone, but I do feel like this group had some really powerful intentions because that was a big flame. But I'm going to go ahead and put this up here in the top corner just so we can kind of keep our eye on it while I read the cards. Sometimes the flame does interact with the reading, so we'll see if anything should come up. But let's go ahead and see what the cards have for you. So we do have the Page of Wands. We also have the Four of Wands reversed. We have Judgment, or excuse me, Justice reversed. And we have the Four of Swords reversed. Okay, now whether you are single or taken, I feel like many of you are not feeling very happy at home. And I say that because the Four of Wands is very foundational. It often talks about the home or celebrating with loved ones, things like that. Also, I apologize if you hear any noise in the background. My husband just came home again to be work from home with all the craziness in the world and everything that's kind of changed. He's back on work from home. So this is like really new for me. Again, he went back to work for a while and now he's back home. Of course, I'm so grateful and so privileged that he gets to be here. But I feel like the energy of the world right now is also just really heightened and like noises are just everywhere. Like there's a lot of noise going on outside. My neighbors are making noise. Their dogs are making noise. My husband's here making making noise, so I apologize if there's any noise that you can hear. I will do my best to make sure it doesn't make it into the video, but just so you're aware, I'm really sorry. But anyways, as I was saying, I feel that fours are very, they speak a lot about home, a lot about the element of home. And no matter where home is for you, it doesn't mean that it has to be in a house. A house does not equal a home. Home is wherever you feel safe. It's your safe, sacred space, right? So when we talk about home and this reversal here with a reversed Four of Swords, with a reversed Justice and a Page of Wands, to me, there's definitely this very combative energy and this lack of rest. So if you are in a relationship, I feel like there might be like things just feel unsettled at home. And it's interesting because I feel like every reading today, I have yet to pick one up that's like extremely harmonious. Every reading that I have picked up today on the first three now, all of y'all have been having a little bit of trouble at home. And I think this is extremely normal right now, especially if you're watching this as it goes live with the astrology right now. There's a lot that's coming up. There are things from 35 years or more, maybe even your entire existence. I'm not 35, so my entire existence. There are things that are coming up from the past that are asking to be healed. So a lot of us have this very combative, contentious energy around us. And I feel for you, this is very much in the home front, and it's causing you to lose sleep. You are not able to even rest. And if you're single, I feel like this could just be in terms of maybe your home life isn't your favorite right now, and you're not being shown an example of what a harmonious relationship is either. So it's hard for you to even consider what a partner would be like for you or a romantic interest could be like for you, because there's just this very combative energy going on. Because with a Page of Wands too, I feel like a Page of Wands, those of you that are single, just be careful because to me, a Page of Wands, this is somebody that can be really sexy and really alluring and somebody that you think you want to be attached to, but it's not necessarily the best connection. Now, I'm not saying Page of Wands energy cannot be, but the vibe that I'm getting from this is not great. This person maybe is just playing with your feelings, or maybe they're just here for a good time, not a long time. So just be careful if you are single. I feel like I would definitely personally not want to fall for a Page of Wands energy. Just be careful with that. Now, with these other fours, we also have to take into account the numerology of the number 4. So, because it's coming out twice. So the number 4, it's really interesting because 2020 is actually a universal year 4, because if you take 2 and 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0, you get the number 4, right? So we're actually seeing a crumbling of a foundation. We are shaking the foundation down globally. It's happening on the planet. And we're seeing this happen through a lot of different things. But it also is happening independently. When we talk about a year number and a numerology of a year, it doesn't just happen to everyone on a grand scale. It happens to each individual person on an independent scale too. So I do feel that for many of you in your relationships, the foundation, the core of them, maybe things that you've built yourself on top of, they're not as strong as maybe you feel like they could be or they once were, and there's a restructuring that's happening. I feel like those of you that chose this pile, you might want to go back and watch pile number 1, because it's funny too, because in pile number 1 I also mentioned it was one of the red candles, but I didn't say that in the pink pile. I didn't say like one of the pink candles. I don't know. I feel like these two piles might be a little bit linked, but just know that if there's any contention around your relationship, it's coming up because it's giving you the opportunity to heal. It's giving you the opportunity to take stock of what you have and make a new foundation, pave a new, because when you build your relationship on top of quicksand, it's just gonna sink. You need to really lay a beautiful foundation for it to grow. So even if you're single, take into account, ask yourself what the foundational elements of a relationship would be for you and what what a healthy foundation that is stable and solid looks like. So lots of foundational stuff coming out. So we also have for you, nothing will come of this situation. And we also have, it's time to release negativity with the full moon in Scorpio. So nothing will come of the situation with this void of course moon. It's time to release negativity. I feel that many of you, so those of you that are single, when I was talking about this Page of Wands energy and I said, be careful, know that this is not your end all be all person. This is not the person that you are meant to share your life with. It's not it. And I need to tell you something crazy. As I'm sitting here, this beetle, I have no idea where it fell from. This is a really old house. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of bugs in it. I just try to let the bugs be. If they're not hurting me, but I kid you not. I wish I had my phone next to me because I would put this on my Instagram stories. A beetle just fell from I have no idea where, but it's right in front of me, on my window. It fell from higher up. And beetles actually they talk a lot about protection and putting up kind of a harder exterior and protecting yourself. And so I feel like no matter if you're in a relationship or if you're single, I don't think I would have caught that if I wasn't supposed to. So just know that, be on your guard. And that doesn't mean don't let people through. When we have boundaries, they're not meant to be walls to keep everybody out. Boundaries are here because they are meant to keep us safe, but they are allowed to let love pass through easily. Real, true, unconditional love. So we don't want to guard ourselves off from everything, but just letting keep up with your protection for yourself and, protect your heart, protect what's closest to you. I just thought I would add that because that was just so weird the way it happened. I saw it fall and I was like, oh, where'd you come from? So with nothing will come of this situation though, with the void of course moon, if you're in a relationship and things just feel unsteady, just know that this is not the thing that's going to break you. This is not the thing that's going to separate you. So everything will be okay, and have confidence in that. And those of you that are singles, the same. You're not going to be alone forever. I promise. I don't believe that you would be on this reading if that was your destiny. You will not be alone forever. And with its time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio, I feel like that's really what this is about. If you're in a relationship, it's time to put the negativity out of it. It's time to redistribute the energies, redistribute the responsibilities, kind of map what you are going through in this relationship. And if you're single, it's time to reframe your mindset around relationships. I feel like that's been a common answer for all singles today, is reframing your mindset around relationships. So we also have give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. We also have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Ooh, that's interesting. We'll talk about that. And we have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Okay. So for those of y'all that are single, that I said you need to watch out for that Page of Wands, please know if this is an ex trying to come back into your life, it is not the time. This is not the person for you. No. I am strongly getting a vibe that they are trying to reconcile with you. And if you broke up once for good reason, let it be what it is. Those of you that maybe have had a bit of a separation from a partner, however, this actually is going to be a good time to reconcile. So those of you that have maybe been separated or things have kind of felt really shaky in the foundation, give your relationship a time, work on the partnership, and take the steps that you feel guided to in your intuition. Because with making the effort, in order for someone to make the effort for you, you also have to make the effort for them. Energy in this world is very paradox because it's like anything we desire, we can't crave it so bad because that actually pushes the thing farther away from us. So if we're actually able to give it to ourselves first, make the effort first, it's going to be reflected back. Our reality is very much a mirror image of itself. Even when we have experiences that are unfavorable to us or that we don't desire, it's a reflection of what's going on internally. It's a reflection of beliefs that maybe we have internally. So don't be afraid to make the effort and do something different. Those of you that are single, these two cards, I feel like working on your partnership, this again really just kind of concludes to self. This is more about working on your inner self, working on you, and great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take in terms of manifesting a partner, whatever it might be. Don't be afraid to take the effort. Don't be afraid to make the effort. Also, I'm hearing from Spirit directly, don't be afraid to open your mouth and speak. You know, if you do feel like you're dealing with a Page of Wands energy, do not be afraid to speak up and say, hey, are you this? Are you serious? Are you playing with me? Because the longer you wait, I mean, it's not even a guarantee they're going to be truthful about it, but at least, you know, don't be afraid to let somebody else know where you stand and what you're looking for and what you want and what you expect and what, like, you define your worth and move in that way. I hope that helps. I hope that made sense. I feel like I was kind of all over the place just now. So we also have for you, wait. That's interesting. And we have in the near future. So if any of this reading has been resonating with you on any of it, whether you're single, taken, no matter what, if any of this has really been like, a lot of people will tell me like, I feel like you're speaking directly to me, if this has really been hitting you and like resonating with you, take this as really sound advice from your own spirit team. These cards are angel cards. So this is like direct guidance from your angels. Whatever it is, it's not time to take action yet. You know, lay low for a little bit longer, bide your time, wait for that inspired action to hit you, because it will. With make the effort, great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Wait for that moment of inspired action. You'll know when it is. Trust yourself. And if you're single, the same. Wait to act on anything with someone. You're literally being instructed, and it says it's going to be soon. Like in the near future, you will want to take action, but don't do it yet. Don't do anything yet. Don't change anything yet, because the perfect time is being shaped for you now. So the last three cards I have for you, pile number 3, I basically asked if you are single, what are some things you can do to kind of reconnect with yourself? And if you're taken, what are some things maybe you could do with your partner that would be helpful for the relationship? So we have use your hands. And I feel like with use your hands, this could be interpreted a lot of ways. So first and foremost, using your hands, this could just be doing something together, cooking a meal together, making a piece of art together. If you're single, doing those things for yourself. Now, using your hands, we know all kinds of fun ways that hands can be used. So just take that into consideration. If it's by yourself, don't be afraid to take matters into your own hands. If it's with your partner, you know, when the time comes, you know, I feel like it's not talked about enough in the spiritual community, but sex is like, it is very powerful. You can manifest with that energy, whether you are by yourself or with someone else. You can manifest with that energy. It's extremely powerful. One of the most powerful, I would argue. So maybe that's like a podcast episode I can do in the future, is talking about, like, I guess you would consider it sex magic, but it's very powerful energy. So use your hands. Now we also have sync with the moon. And I feel like this could also be with your partner. Like, don't, like, get outside, stargaze if you are able to look out at the sky, attune yourself to the moon. I'm actually thinking soon of starting a Patreon. It would be next year, that will actually help you do this a little bit more. If you are interested in that, let me know, because I haven't decided if it's something I'm going to do or not. I know that I'm qualified to do it. Like, I know enough to teach about it and to create it. But if nobody actually wants it, I feel like I don't want to waste my time, basically. So let me know if that's something you're interested in, learning how to like link up with the moon and like basically supercharge your intentions, your manifestations, and do intention setting on a monthly basis with a group. That's just something that I've been considering. But as for singles and partners, you know, if you're single, work with the energy of the moon. The moon is such a, to me, I mean, many of you maybe already do it, but I feel like many people don't consider the fact that We as humans are made up of so much water, and look at what the moon does to the tides. Like, attuned to the moon. I promise, like anything in my life that I have manifested, I have done it all with syncing myself up with the moon. All of it. And that's something that, again, I would love to talk more about in the future. I don't feel like this is my time to speak on it, but, either get outside and do that a little bit more with your partner, or just do it yourself independently because it will help you. I always recommend the book Moonology by Yasmin Boland. I will link it down below for you. One of my favorite books of all time. It taught me so much about how to use the moon in that way, the moon's energy. And it's just a really fascinating read. Even if you do nothing with it, it's just interesting information. And lastly, we have rest, which I think is really interesting because we did get this Four of Swords up here reversed for you. And the Four of Swords normally is all about rest. It is the card of rest. So allow yourself to rest. Take a nap with your partner. If you're by yourself, if you're tired and you are able, take a nap. Take a rest. Be easy on yourself. And that is all I have for you, pile number 3. Please do not forget to claim your blessing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Kloee Taylor. If you like any of the decks that you see here today, they are all linked down below in the description box in the order that they appear. And if you feel called to do so, it is never an expectation, but always appreciated. I do have links for tips, Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal. Again, I don't expect it. I don't do this because I expect a return on it from you. I do it because I feel called to do it. But if you do feel like it resonated and you are able, I do appreciate it. I pour everything that I receive back into what I'm making here, candles, cards. Recently, we were able to upgrade some of our tech to make better readings. So thank you to those of you that have helped. I really do appreciate it. But again, don't feel like it's something you have to do. So that is all I have for you, and I will talk to you again soon. Love you so much. Bye. Hello there, my beautiful pile number 4s, and welcome to your reading. Whether you are single or taken, this is going to be the reading for you. And before we hop into the cards, I do want to set an intention candle with you. So if you chose this pile, you chose a pink candle. And pink candles, to me, their biggest representation is self-love. But I also believe that they have strong ties to Venus. And if you know anything about Venus, Venus also rules the astrological sign of Taurus and the astrological sign of Libra. So I believe that those are also tied in. And pink also represents the heart chakra, pink and green. So I feel that this is a really good time to set intention for different kinds of frequencies of love that you're wanting to attract, but it doesn't have to be. You can choose anything, a person, a place, a feeling that you want more of. Maybe it's just self-love, more self-care, more time for yourself. Maybe it is an actual partner, another person, or just a literal physical item. Maybe you just want a cup of coffee. No matter what it is, big or small, go ahead and think of your thing now. And then what I want you to do is put both of your hands over your heart center, just like both your hands. I usually lay mine, actually, I don't know, like left over right. It doesn't really matter, but I usually do mine technically right over left. And I'll just put them both right over my heart because if you didn't know, love is the highest vibrational frequency that we as humans can attune ourselves to. So when we take an intention or a manifestation and we infuse it with that heart chakra energy, that love center, that high vibration, you're able to bring your manifestation in with more ease and with more haste. It comes in faster and easier with more grace. So of course we want to make it as easy as possible, right? So go ahead and push your hands there, and we're going to just take a deep breath in together, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and like really deep, like breathe into your belly, expand your belly when you breathe in. And just hold whatever that intention is. Think about it, really feel into it. I'm going to do one too. And let's go ahead and just take a deep breath together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and light this candle for you. And I do feel like the flame on this one started a little bit smaller, but it's gaining traction pretty quickly. So I do feel like when we have candle flames that do that, it's usually an indication that there might be a little bit more that has to happen before this intention can come in, but the flame is still strong. I think in all of my readings, I've only ever had a candle go out one time. And usually that's like indicative of like really big blocks that need to be moved out, and energy that needs to be cleared before something can come through. This one, I feel like it might just be like a little bit of personal energy work, nothing that you need to like go to someone else for. Just maybe just, really grounding your reality in, really taking the time to ask yourself exactly what you want and being clear about it is, to me, all you really need to do. And I feel like the flame is pretty good sized. And usually to me, when a flame isn't really necessarily average or above average, it can be 3+ weeks, sometimes into like 6 weeks. It can go pretty far out before that intention is going to come back. So just be advised. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up in the corner for us. Sometimes the flames do interact with the reading, not always, but if they do, I always try to call attention to it. But let's go ahead and see what the cards have for you, pile number 4. So right off the bat, we have a reversed 3 of Swords. Go ahead and tip that here. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Swords. And we have the 8 of Pentacles. So I feel that for you, whether you are single or taken, there's definitely a healing. I feel like that is happening. You're healing your heart right now because maybe you've suffered a setback and now you're being a little bit more guarded and a little bit more strategic about how you work in your heart space, how you give your love, your time, and your attention to others. Because the 3 of Swords, normally in the upright position, really talks about a heartbreak. And I feel that when it's reversed, we haven't quite maybe gotten as hurt, or we are overcoming that hurt. We're already in that process. The Page of Pentacles in this deck, to me, because each deck does read a little different, they all kind of have different energies and their messaging is a little different. But the Page of Pentacles to me here, we see a girl sitting with this rose in her hand floating right over her heart center, and it's blooming and it's glowing. And I feel like that's kind of where you are at right now. You maybe have been dimmed for a while, whether you're in a partnership or you're not. You're starting to kind of find that glow again, and you're being very careful about it because the 7 of Swords is strategic planning. The 7 of Swords can also be about betrayal, maybe because you've been betrayed in one way or another. And then the 8 of Pentacles, I feel like this is really where you're going because we have this like little glow here, right? This little like heart-centered glow. And then if you look at the picture that's being shown here, it almost looks like it is potentially the same woman here, this same female that's being shown. She's kind of in the middle of her power, standing up, looking up. And this card, the 8 of Pentacles, really talks about coming to a place of mastery, working on yourself to a place of mastery. So I feel like really this to me, whether you are in a relationship or you are not, this is really about you becoming your best and truest self. And I feel like this reading also possibly has some ties to pile number 1. Pile number 1 talked a little bit about this too. I always like to tell you that in case you felt drawn to multiple piles, you may want to go back and listen. It doesn't always come through, doesn't always happen that way, but in this case, I do feel like there might be some similarity. Now, I do feel that even in your partnerships, if you've been hurt, which I am sensing that some of you have, like I am feeling sadness, like my eyes are watering over. I'm feeling this like deep hurt. Yes, I'm feeling this really like deep hurt in my heart that it's, and also in my third eye, which is interesting. I mean, I guess probably because I also get my like psychic sense through there as well. Like it could hurt there a little bit, but I'm also feeling like maybe something had to happen to kind of open your eyes, and all of your eyes, not just your 2 eyes, but your third eye. Everybody has one. I feel like this, whatever this was, it's really opened your eyes. And maybe you've either left a partnership or you're questioning a partnership, because we also have these two birds here being depicted. And when I first saw them, they are owls, but I heard the word lovebirds. Like maybe this was a partnership or a relationship that you were in or you're still in. And things have just kind of been that's just not good. Things have just not been good. There's some betrayal, there's some deceit, whether you were the one doing the deceiving or they were. I also feel that with the Eight of Pentacles, it's almost like you're being pushed to work more on your own vibration of love, what that means to you, to redefine it for yourself and ask yourself what you deserve, what you want, and work on becoming that person. I feel like today a lot of the readings have talked about this. Like everybody must be real connected right now energetically in terms of love and relationships, because I feel like almost every reading has hit on this in one way or another, that there's like this level of self-love, self-acceptance that you're going through that is helping you to kind of guide the relationship that you want to have or the changes that you want to make in your relationship. And if you're single, it's helping you to attract the relationship that you desire. So I actually see this as a good thing, even though I feel like these two cards can be considered more on the harmful or deceitful thread. I think ultimately it's waking you up to who you are and what you want to become a master of, and how I feel like many of you might also be heart chakra people. I'm hearing from spirit that many of you might feel like you are somebody that is really led by the heart chakra, that you almost give too much of yourself, and you're having to learn a better balance of that, no matter what your relationship status is. Now, we also have the answers you need are coming with the full moon in Gemini. And we also have don't let your past hold you back with the South Node. So with the answers you need are coming, it could mean that you are attracting a Gemini or you are a Gemini. But also with the answers you need are coming with the full moon in Gemini. I go by sidereal astrology at this time, but you can use tropical if that's what you prefer. Just know that when I read, I'm usually going off of sidereal dates. But we will, I believe, have a full moon in Gemini in either December or January. I'm not exactly sure on the specific date, but Sagittarius season will start sometime mid-December in sidereal. And usually when you have a new moon in a sign, the full moon will be in its opposing. So like right now, when I'm reading this, we should be coming into Scorpio season, or we already will be, I think, when this goes live. And we will have, I believe, a full moon in Taurus coming up after the fact. In sidereal, like I said, it's different from tropical. So with this, we will have a full moon coming up, though, if you're watching this when it's current. Now, obviously, this is timeless. The message will always come to you when you need to hear it. But just know that whatever is going on in your relationship, whatever's being uprooted, changed, or even what you're building towards, I feel like there's just this building. There's this grand culmination. There's this wanting to have something new and have like new energy, a new person. There's a lot going into this. I feel like it's finally going to reach its grand culmination during that Gemini full moon that will be coming. So just pay attention to that. It also could be Gemini season if it's a little bit farther out, which Gemini season happens, I want to say June in sidereal. Again, I don't have like transits and dates in front of me, so hard to say, but it could also be Gemini season. Don't let your past hold you back. I feel like many of you, that's kind of another thing that I'm really getting from these original 4 cards is like maybe the way you were in the past, or who you were in the past, what you did in the past. those things are kind of coming up for healing and you're overcoming them. I'm actually seeing that you're already doing this intentional work. Again, whether you're in a partnership or you are single, the reason that I feel like this is coming in so strongly is it's going to affect either your future partnership or the one that you're in, because when everything within, also without, whenever you make a shift, the people that are closest to you shift as well in microscopic ways or in big ways. So it's good that you're doing this. It's good intentional work that you are putting yourself towards. And with not letting your past hold you back, don't let those things that you did 10 years ago affect who you are now, or 3 years ago, or last year. You're becoming a new version of you. And as long as you have, forgiven yourself and also forgiven the other party, you have full permission to step into this. I feel like that's another message that's coming through, is it's like you're scared to let yourself be the master of your own life, claiming what is rightfully yours. And all it's going to take is forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others. And when you give somebody else forgiveness, it doesn't mean that you give them a get out of jail free card. It doesn't mean that you're saying what you did was okay. It means that you're giving yourself the peace of mind. You don't even ever have to speak to the person in question again if you're on the outs with someone right now. You don't ever have to speak to them again to give forgiveness to yourself and to them. It can be I actually would argue that forgiveness is mostly an internal journey. It usually has nothing to do with the other party. But you're allowed to claim that power for yourself and not let the past things that you've done hold you back. And we also have for you, oh my gosh, I swear to you, I did not look at these. Oh my gosh. I never look at the cards before I start reading them. But we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moment. That's literally exactly what I was just saying. Like, as you kind of expand and become more yourself, claim that power, it's going to be through that power of forgiveness. Now, we also have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Ooh, I love that card. Let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. So I feel that for many of you, there's maybe been also like a force of, this is such a common thing. And I feel like ultimately this is something that kind of sets a lot of my readings apart from other readers. And not to say that I'm better. I don't necessarily think that. I think there are a lot of people that are better than me. But I am currently in psychology school. I study psychology. Depth psychology is really interesting to me, and I hope to one day have a degree in psychology. But I believe in using tarot and psychology together. And a lot of even psychologists do that. Therapists do that. Now, I do need to say that I am not a licensed therapist, a licensed clinician. I cannot give you advice on replacing that or be that for you instead. So please know, never, ever, ever, ever take my readings for a replacement for that, ever. But I feel like we kind of get a little bit more in depth on my readings in terms of psychology. So the thing that I feel like this reading is really highlighting for you on a psychological level is it's this concept that everything that you need comes from this place outside of you, when in reality it doesn't. It always starts with you first. Now, this again, if you're single or in a relationship, it doesn't matter, because you have to be able to give yourself love first. You become more attractive when you become more yourself, when you let yourself be who you actually are, who you came here to be. And let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. From a psychological perspective, it's when we try to control everybody's reaction around us, it honestly comes from when we maybe were people pleasers to our parents, people pleasers to other parent pleasers become people pleasers. And so from the psychological perspective, a lot of these things come out in our relationships because the relationship that we had with our parental figures first is usually the relationship dynamic that often, if we haven't healed those parts of us and let go of things that don't serve us, which many of us, myself included here, have not done all the work on that yet. And so we will play out those roles unconsciously. And have you ever heard yourself say, when you're talking to your partner or to even a friend or someone else. Oh my gosh, I opened my mouth and my mom came out. Or oh my gosh, I opened my mouth and my dad came out. We learn how to be in a relationship from the relationships that are modeled to us. And many people, I don't think necessarily all of you, because I do believe that my channel holds a more of a conscious awareness. That's an intention that I have here, that many of us that are here are more consciously aware of our actions. But when we talk about becoming more conscious and more self-aware of our actions, many of us are at this point now where we're discovering this. You're discovering this in your life, whether you are in a relationship or you are not. You are discovering these things about yourself that you have to give things to yourself first, but also letting go of this idea that you have to please everyone else before you please yourself. And that often comes, like I said, from this place where it's a parental figure that we have taken all this time to please, or a caregiver. And now we're playing out that same dynamic. We think that in order to be loved, we have to do these things. And in reality, your partner shouldn't expect that from you. And so I feel like many of you, that's the stuff that's been unfolding. And maybe it breaks your heart wide open to even recognize that as I'm saying it. Maybe this is something that has really risen something in you of, oh my gosh, maybe your awareness is being hit right now, or maybe it already has, and you're becoming aware so that you can change that for yourself. I feel like this reading is very deep. So I also asked for a few messages from angels, from spirit, from your angels, and I got no as the first. I know we in human psychology, we do not like to hear the word no. That is a true fact too. Like, have you ever sat in silence and just like thought the word or said the word no aloud over and over, and like seen how your body reacts? And same if you say yes, 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 yes over and over to yourself, your body actually has a reaction to those words. So I know a lot of you probably didn't like that no. And then we also have listen to your intuition. So I feel like many of you might even be caught in more of like thought spirals. I'm hearing that many of you are maybe being caught in thought spirals and in things that just aren't necessarily serving your highest good. And just say no to those thoughts. You have that ability. You have that potential. You are able to create new thought patterns. And even in this no card, with whatever you need to be said no to, whatever is being held back from you, there's an angel that's present right here that's literally saying like, no, there's something better for you. So no for right now. And we also have listen to your intuition. Honestly, I think only time is really going to tell how your relationship is going to unfold from right now. From if you're single and you're looking for a relationship, now is not the right time for one, is what I'm really hearing. Use your intuition to guide you when the right time is. And those of you that are attached to a partner, whatever you're working on right now is just not the right time. The timing is wrong, is really what I'm hearing. Use your intuition. And then the last three cards that I have for you are all based on like self-care. And I basically asked, three things that you could do for yourself that would help you attract a partner if that's what you were looking for, or help you connect more with yourself. Or if you are with a partner, three things that maybe you could do with a partner to bring you closer together. So we have music. So I know this sounds like old fashioned, but make your significant other a playlist, or a CD if you're still doing those. Make them a mixtape. But, I know in the modern age, we're mostly doing like playlists now on iTunes or on Spotify, but make them a playlist of songs that remind you of them, or songs that you think they would like, or make a communal playlist together that you think is going to be something that you both would enjoy. And if you're single, make a playlist that raises your vibration and connects you to love in a positive way. Music is full of subliminals. When you listen to sad romantic songs that make you sad about being single, you're putting that into your consciousness. Make songs that make you feel good about love. Put that on a playlist. We also have sweet treats. So maybe you want to do a little bit of baking with your significant other, or bake for them. Make a nice gesture, make something for them that they really enjoy. Or if you are single, make something nice for yourself. Make yourself some cute little heart-shaped sugar cookies, whatever it is. And then massage. So you can give yourself a massage. There are plenty of ways to do that. Or maybe have a night where you and your partner give each other massages just because, just to get in connection with intimacy. Not intimacy, it doesn't have to be sexual. It can just be, tonight we're just going to give each other massages because it feels good, because we want to connect in a physical way that is non-sexual. I mean, obviously it can also be that way, but I'm just saying intimacy isn't just sex all the time. It is mental, it is physical, it is emotional. Share that intimacy. And that is what I have for you, pile number 4. I hope this was helpful for you. I feel like we really dove deep in this reading. I feel like there was just a lot that came out of it. So I hope this was helpful for you and whatever you're experiencing, whether you're single or taken. And please do not forget to claim your blessing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Kloee Taylor. And if you enjoy any of the card decks here today, all of them are linked down below in the order that they appear. And lastly, if the reading resonated and you feel called, it is never an expectation, but always appreciated. I do have tips down below for Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal. Again, I do not expect that from you whatsoever. I pour all of it back into the channel, so we've been able to buy decks. This deck is actually brand new, this one in the middle, from all of you. And I really do appreciate all that you give to me. You are all so kind and so loving. And we've also even been able to upgrade like some of the tech that we have that we create readings with. I'm still trying to figure some of it out, but I do feel like my readings have changed a little bit in like the setup even because of you. So thank you so much to those of you that have given. I appreciate it. Again, I don't do this because I expect that from you. I do this because I feel called to do it. So please don't feel like you have to, but I do just want to say thank you for those of you that do and those of you that have. And I love you all so much, and I will speak to you again in a future video. Bye.